people that were saying they were popping in tonight, so I want to give them a minute. Serena, can you double check and see if I'm live, if this is working?
Yeah, I'm looking right now, but I don't see anything.
All right, you guys, technical difficulties today.
Wait,
Awesome.
never mind, I see it.
We're here. We're
Yeah,
here. Yay.
we're here.
Awesome.
Learning lots, loving the challenge. What's
Hey.
your favorite part about the challenge? And I'm sorry, I don't know your name because all it says is iPhone 6.
Let's say iPhone 6, who are you?
Who is it? Amanda. Okay,
Oh,
girl.
hi, Amanda. I was like, who is this? Awesome. Alrighty.
Best show mask singer.
Would you say the mask
Mask
singer?
singer. Yeah, I've never actually watched it, but
I've
pers-
never seen it as either. So, all right, you guys. Let's get this presentation pulled up. Hopefully, I'll kind of man the people coming in and out as well. Serena, I got that on this end.
okay.
Perfect. I think I have this. Hang on, let me get this all pulled up, you guys. With having two screens, it's always so confusing, but we'll get there.
Just like I think so.
I think maybe I gotta get the chat and stuff pulled up too so I can see everyone. Alrighty. Okay, you guys. Cool. Let's kick off. Tonight we are going to go over feeling sexy and confident in your summer clothes in 5 simple steps. So we're going to be going over the 5 main things that are going to get you from point A to point B, feeling more confident in your clothes, especially going into the summer where shorts, bathing suits, things along those lines. So let's dive in. All right, overview of today. Welcome back. Today is day 4 of the challenge. Tomorrow's the last day. You guys have been killing it. I've been super, super impressed with everyone posting in the Facebook group and stuff like that. Like, there's been so much activity, and I just love the encouragement that you guys are also giving each other. I know there's been a lot of comments and like advice and stuff, especially with the kiddos. So, love seeing that. Um, Also, we want to go over why we know this works, some proof of to where proofs in the pudding here. And then we're going to go over movement, hydration, sleep, stress management, proper nutrition, and then we're going to put it all together for you guys. Okay. So why we know this works. Because we've worked with lots and lots of women and it works. So here's just a handful. I know if you guys were on the masterclass, we did a kind of a page like this as well. I tried to pull some different ones so you guys could see different examples and stuff. But lots of really good just wins in general here. That's what we like to call when someone sends over like a something they're feeling super proud about. But wins in general, also a lot of transformations in here that are using these techniques with these 5 things that we're going to go over within their day-to-day life. So the proof is in the pudding. Awesome. Okay. And we do have a secret announcement that's going to be one, it's being broadcasted live. So anyone watching the replay and stuff too, you're going to get an inside look at all of this. But secret announcement if you stay till the end to find out. So hang around. This won't be as long of a mini masterclass as Monday night. This one will be a little bit more short, sweet, to the point. But hang around to the end to figure out what the secret is. Awesome. Let's dive into it. Go ahead,
So
Serena.
then, let's start with everyone's favorite and probably, I guess, the easiest or the one that people always think about when it comes to keeping things together is your movement. And I want you guys to remember that this is not just your gym movement. Okay, so we have these 3 columns here. Far left is the eat. So no, you're not eating food, but it's called exercise activity thermogenesis. And this is the calories that you're burning or the energy expenditure that you're having when you're doing things like working out. You're running, you're cycling, you're walking, you're hiking, all of those things. And so that comes from your physical exercise. Now, there's a lot of other areas in where, that can classify as movement too that we want to focus on. And so that brings us to the next column, is NEAT or non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Really fancy word, just think about it as the word NEAT. But this is things like doing your dishes or walking around the house or folding laundry or vacuuming. I don't know about you, but vacuuming can kind of be a little, especially if you have a bigger house, vacuuming can be kind of a good way to get some extra steps in. I think today actually I might vacuum my apartment just because I'm a little behind on my 7,500 steps and I don't feel like going for another walk. And it's cold out, so I don't feel like doing that. Or just honestly like dancing, fun stuff like that. Another tip that I personally love and I use all the time to increase my NEAT is either one, taking the stairs if you can, but I always just park far at the grocery store, at Starbucks, at whatever store I'm going into. I try to park as far away as possible to get those extra steps in for me so I don't even have to think about it. Like I don't if I would have went other places today, I could have parked farther and probably got my 7,500 steps in no problem. But since I didn't really go that many places today, there was no point in me, trying to park farther and stuff. But really just making sure we are improving our overall health without structured exercise. So being mindful of that. And that brings us to that third column of containing or maintaining regular physical activity, whether that is our exercise or getting in those extra steps or doing yoga or dancing or walking or running around with the kids, jumping and playing with them, things like that. So just kind of incorporating more movement into our overall daily routines to help keep our bodies functioning because a body in motion is going to stay in motion.
Um, all right. Next up, one we've been working on this week, hydration. All right. So there's a few different reasons why I really want to go over hydration with you guys. It's super easily overlooked, number one, but it's one of the most fundamental aspects of your health. Okay, so let's kind of dive into why. And I want to talk about energy first and then go into like the weight loss side of it because there's two different sides, but obviously they play hand in hand, right? So I want you to think of your body as like a well-oiled machine, okay, with water serving as the primary fuel. Like when we think of nutrition, which we'll talk about, we think about like carbohydrates being our preferred source of fuel. I want you to think about like your water being the primary source of fuel for this like machine that you have with your body. Every cell, tissue, organ, everything that functions within your body relies on water to function optimally. And when you're dehydrated, even just slightly, your body's ability to perform basic functions is compromised, which leads to you feeling like fatigued and sluggish and things along those lines. So proper hydration can ensure that nutrients and oxygen are effectively transported to your cells, providing that steady source of energy throughout the day that we all want. I know a lot of us have young little kiddos and stuff, that energy is kind of like, ooh, the energy is just not always consistent. But if we are staying hydrated, it will help with that a little bit. Whether you're also working out, whether it be in the gym or just tackling a busy work day or simply just going about like your day-to-day activities that Serena was just talking about, like going to the store, walking through the store, grocery shopping, vacuuming your house and stuff. Hydrating is going to, staying hydrated is going to be one of the key things to maintain that energy level to get all of those things checked off of your to-do list. Okay, yeah, Isabel says I felt so much less tired at work since increasing her water. See, I love it. That's exactly, and I swear hydration and water is like one of the first differences that you feel. Not only like seeing the progress and stuff, but like whenever you first change getting more water in, you will feel the difference so much faster than you expect. So I'm really glad you're experiencing that within this 5 days, Isabel. Um, and of course, with the goal of weight loss being in mind, hydration often takes kind of a back seat to like diet and exercise. Those are typically the first two things we think of. However, overlooking hydration can really set back your progress. So I want to kind of dive into why it's so important for weight loss specifically. Number one being appetite control. You guys, drinking water, I mean, just throughout the day, but also like before a meal, can help you not only like feel fuller, but it's going to help you from not overeating as much. I don't want you guys taking this and kind of spitting it into a way of like, oh, I'm going to drink water instead of eating because just because I'm hungry, I might actually just be thirsty. That could be the case, yes. So have some water if you're feeling hungry and you just ate like maybe an hour ago. Have some water hydrate yourself. But if you're still feeling hungry, please go and fuel yourself. But it could just be hydration and thirst as well. Also, staying hydrated can help kind of lead you away from just like mindless snacking and things along those lines, because your body is getting that energy that it needs from the water source as well. And all of this can typically lead to like more mindful habits. If you're just being more mindful about your water, number one, it's going to domino effect into other healthy habits as well. And that goes for like everything that we go over. Like one small thing will domino effect into the next thing as well.
Mhm.
Second point here being your metabolism, which is what we're doing this week, right? But it does help boost your metabolism. So, proper hydration supports metabolic function by allowing your body to efficiently and effectively convert food into energy. Okay, so dehydration can slow down your metabolism, making it a lot harder for you to burn calories. Remember, like we talked about on Monday night's call about how your metabolism being higher means that you're burning more calories more effectively. So if we're dehydrated and that slows down your metabolism, that can cause for you to burn less calories or just burn slower. So by drinking enough water, it can really help keep that metabolism like firing on all cylinders, which can help in weight loss, right? Number three that I want to touch on is improved workout performance. So you guys, this is crucial. I want you guys fueling yourself with water throughout the day, of course, but also especially during your workouts. Okay. So hydration is especially crucial during exercise, especially as we get into the warmer months. If you're doing outdoor workouts and stuff, please stay hydrated. But even as like mild dehydration, it can impair the performance and hinder the progress that you're seeing through your movement. Um, let's get everyone muted here. And then so also staying hydrated, it's going to keep that energy up, but it's going to help you feel like you're having more effective workouts, which in turn is going to see better results, right? That energy staying up, you're able to actually say like, hey, I actually want to go for a workout versus being like, oh, I'm feeling kind of sluggish and bogged down, and you don't actually want to go for your workout. Of course, that's going to help your performance as well, right? So, what are some tips? I know we've talked a little bit about tips this week for staying hydrated. But the first one is making it a regular thing versus thinking like, oh my gosh, I'm just gonna like chug my water when I start feeling super thirsty. Or at the end of the day, you're like, crap, I forgot about my water all day long. I'm just gonna chug it all in to get it in. Um, it does the job, but it's gonna be a lot more beneficial if you drink it regularly throughout the day. Whether that be setting reminders on your phone, carrying a water bottle. If you've ever been on a call with me, you see I've got like 3 water bottles that look like this, and I constantly have this with me. So that leads to tip number two is carrying that water bottle. If you have one with a straw, always super helpful. But also, like if you're someone who just doesn't like plain water, flavor it up a little bit. You can either get some of like those oh gosh, what's that brand's name? Element, like electrolyte packets, or just simply add some like lemon, cucumber, mint, whatever it might be, to add a little bit of flavor to it. If you just like don't like the boringness flavor of water, not a problem. And then also like listen to your body. That's the last point that I want to touch on here is listen to your body and pay close attention to your or your body's cues. Yes, hunger cues, but also like your thirst cues. Like when you're feeling thirsty and honor that versus thinking like, oh, I'll just grab it later. I'll grab it later. I know Haley said that her water intake's been up since breastfeeding, and I know a good bit of you guys are breastfeeding as well. And so that cue is going to be a lot more active than before. So listen to that and provide your body with that. Last thing I'll touch on with hydration is how much water should you be getting in. I know we talked a little bit about this towards the beginning of the week, but half your body weight in ounces. So do the math. If you weigh 150 pounds, just for easy math, 75 ounces minimum of water every single day. Um, with that being said, with your movement hydration, I would love for the hydration that you're getting during your workouts, that EAT workouts that Serena was talking about, like the intentional workout. I really want that to be added bonus. So I would love for you guys getting in that half your body weight in ounces outside of your workouts. And whenever you're fueling yourself during that training session, that's a bonus. Sounds good?
Cool. Let's talk about the next step, number three, which I arguably could say is one of the most important steps. Because during sleep, it is your body's like restorative process and your regeneration process. So think about like you're in the gym, you're tearing down, you're breaking down the muscles, and when do they get built back up? Like, yes, we emphasize protein and stuff for building up those muscles like back so they get bigger and stronger, but that process, the actual physical process of that happens during sleep. And so we really, really want to make sure, especially with summer coming up, the longer daylight hours, the warmer temperatures. I know it's easier to stay out later, have parties, social activities, all of those things, but making sure that you are maintaining adequate amount of sleep during this time as well, during this time of year as well, just for the process of staying on track with your health and fitness goals, right? So looking at the first little box we have on here with the hormone regulation, sleep plays a huge part in regulating your metabolism as well as your hunger hormones, most importantly, right? So when you're sleep deprived, your body is going to produce more of ghrelin, which is the hunger hormone, telling your body, like, hey, I'm hungry. I need more food. And that's a lot of times why when we're so tired, we tend to reach for those higher calorie, quick, sugar, fast food, those types of things because our body is saying we don't have enough energy. And so it wants something quick. It wants those quick carbs, it wants those quick sugars. And we could go on a whole other talk about blood sugar rise and fall and all of those things, but I'll save that for another day. Um, but when you're sleep deprived, what was that?
So that's a rabbit hole.
Yeah, that's a rabbit hole. We don't have to do that today, but eventually we will. Um, but it also decreases the hormone leptin, which is your hormone that's responsible for telling your brain, like, hey, I'm full. And so it kind of just leads you into almost like that cycle of could be borderline like overeating and stuff when you are sleep deprived. It could also, like I said, cause for those cravings of those higher calorie, higher fatty foods that we're just trying to avoid during this time, anyways. And we'll talk about proper nutrition in a little bit. But really focusing next on that cognitive function. So I'm sure you guys probably know the less sleep you get, you wake up in the morning, you have brain fog, you have just feeling really groggy, really tired. And I don't know, I'll also have to go to the doctors myself pretty soon because I feel like I'm getting like 10 hours of sleep, but I still wake up so exhausted for whatever reason. So that's a story for a different day. But it really just helps you feel more alert, feel for feel more focused and in tune with your emotions as well. Like, of course, you can make better decisions on a well-rested brain than you can when you're half awake, half asleep, or half awake, half alive type of thing. And then lastly, really importantly enough, like you want to make sure you're getting quality sleep. So, not just enough sleep, but also quality sleep. And I don't know if you guys know this, but girls actually need more sleep than men. There's a study, like that study that says like 8 hours a day. That was actually only a study based on men, whereas women are kind of shown to have like need more sleep, like 9 to 10 hours, but I understand that's not really realistic for a lot of people. And so I would say really kind of mess around loosely with your sleep schedule to see how many hours do I function best on? What do I need? And even if I can only get 6 hours, like, are they six quality hours? And so making sure you are creating like a nice nighttime routine or a bedtime routine that signals to your brain, like, hey, it's about time to go to bed. So maybe that looks like you're a nighttime shower, or you like to journal, or you like to read a book, or take a bath, or stretch, or whatever it is. It's going to be something that works best for you because my nighttime routine is going to look different than yours. And I want you guys to just really try different things that help promote that relaxation so you're able to get quality sleep and then function better, your muscles build up back better, you have better hunger levels, and you can continue on with your day and not be like super foggy or super groggy or anything like that.
Yeah, that's big. Ever since I got really specific with my sleep when I got my Aura ring, um, I definitely realized I need way more sleep than I thought I did. And ever since I've kind of realized that there's like that little pivot, but we're told like, oh, 7 hours is enough, right? I think it's come out recently, and Serena, you maybe have looked into this, but they did a study about like the whole 7 hours of sleep. That study was mainly done on men, to where there wasn't enough women in the study that they originally did. Like this was years ago, to where everyone's just like, oh yeah, we all just need like 7, 8 hours of sleep. But there was like 90% men in that population study. I could be wrong with my numbers there. I don't know exactly. But I was like, I found that very interesting because our whole lives were told something, and then I was like, wow, we actually might need a little bit more than them, which I'll take because I love my sleep.
Right. Emily, to answer your question, how do you know that you work best with little sleep? Is my question for you because I feel like at a certain point, when you have so little sleep, your body just gets used to functioning that. Because if you remember from our master class and if you remember from Monday, your body always wants to be at homeostasis. And so it's going to adjust itself to what you're doing to it. Yes, to keep you alive, but two, your hunger is probably not that great. Your fullness is probably not that great. Your brain fog and all of those things are probably kind of there as well. So
Yeah.
I'd be interested into like having a conversation with you about sleep and quality of sleep after this as well.
Yeah, that's a good point too, because when you're like how Serena just talked about sleep affecting your food, that food and your movement and things like that then in turn affect your metabolism as well. And like you said, it's gonna down regulate to where it's like, okay, gotta keep myself alive now, right? Like we go into like that survival mode that we talked about on Monday night. That it's kind of just finding a pattern that works best to keep you at bay, but it's not 100% like optimal to get you to that next level that you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
All right, ladies. Stress management. This is
Street
big.
street
Um,
management.
you guys, typo. Let me fix it real fast for you guys. Honestly, if you know me, if there's not a typo in it, I didn't do it. I feel like I always have typos. So, stress management, this is crucial, you guys. It's going to have a significant impact on your weight. And the relationship between the two can vary from person to person, of course. Like if you've got kids at home, if you don't have any kids at home, if you've got multiple kids at home, if you work a job, there's a lot of different things that play into role with this, right? So, everyone's is going to be a little bit different. And I always too want to preference when I talk about stress management, also with sleep or anything like this. I talk, if you've ever done like a one-on-one call with me, you've heard me say this before probably, but by us offering like this advice and stuff like that, our goal is never to be like, oh yeah, we're going to 100% eliminate the stress out of your life. No, that's just life is always going to life. Things are going to pop up, but we want to get you to a point where you can better handle the situations and control the things that you can control to where you're coming out on the other side of things feeling more successful. Okay. So just diving into here because I understand everyone's life's a little crazy. And I can give you tips and tricks all day long, but it doesn't mean I'm gonna fix the stuff your boss is throwing at you to make life a little hectic, right? So besides the little side note there, going into some behavior changes. Um, so when you're stressed, you can often exhibit like different behaviors, such as like skipping meals, or either like completely devouring food, right? I feel like you're either one or the other. When you're crazy stressed out, you're having anxiety or anything along those lines, you're either someone who um, doesn't eat food very much at all, or you are eating everything in sight, right? There kind of goes back and forth between those two. So you're exhibiting like different habits and poor food choices, which can in turn disrupt where your body is initially wanting to go with your metabolism, weight loss, and things like that, right? Because one, we're not seeing consistency. Two, you're either extremely under eating or extremely overeating in either situation. So it's definitely going to affect those behavior changes. Missed meals specifically too, even if you're not experiencing like, oh, I'm gonna just binge everything or I'm not going to eat it all. Just missed meals in general can lead to your metabolism going kind of like this, not seeing the progress as effectively. I'm not saying that you're not going to see progress at all. This could very well be a reason for a standstill of progress, though. But I will say your progress is not going to be as effective as it would be if our stress is at bay. Okay. Also, like food choices, you guys. Like, whenever, if anyone's ever experienced this, I want to do a study on you because if you're ever like crazy stressed out and you're like, I really want a salad right now, I don't think anyone's ever done that, right? We're like, I want the pizza, I want the ice cream, I want the cookies, I want the feel good food. So of course, stress can influence your food choices, leading to typically more unhealthy options. Um, let's see, I see some questions coming through here real quick. I want to touch on these before I continue.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, Amanda said stress management is so important. Your kids see and experience how you handle your stress and will replicate it. Yes, that's so true. I love that point that you make, Amanda, because I listen to a few podcasts that talks about like just like life in general, and it always talks about how like the best parents that you can be to your kids is a balanced mindset, stress free, like head on your shoulders properly versus feeling like chaotic and stressed all the time. So good point there. And then okay. So moving on to some physiological mechanisms. So as far as like fight or flight responses, I'm sure you guys have heard this before, but when you're stressed out, your body's going in a fight or flight mode. So releasing hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, which we touched on a little bit, but adrenaline can really reduce that appetite and cortisol can temporarily suppress it. Non essential functions such as like your digestion, which of course is going to affect your weight loss goals as well. Because if your digestion slowed, you're processing food slower. You're not going to have bowel movements as frequently, which is going to affect the scale. You're probably going to experience a little bit more bloat and stuff. So this is to anytime we have a one-on-one client that's experiencing any like GI distress, which I'm going to talk about here in a second. We always kind of go back to stress and be like, all right, what's going on here? Maybe there's something that's, especially if it's something that's not super normal. So, touching on GI distress, stress really does slow digestion down a lot. So, this can cause discomfort, symptoms such as like gas, bloating, any like bowel movement irregularities. But chronic stress can also lead to conditions like irritable bowel syndrome, resulting in reduced food intake or even weight loss at like an unhealthy rate, or the opposite way. So, I feel like a lot of times if you have IBS, or that's just kind of an umbrella diagnosis that a lot of doctors like to use when there's really something else going on. So if you have IBS and you're curious about that, let me know. We can talk about it. But essentially, it's either going to reduce your food intake and cause weight loss pretty rapidly. That's more of like an unhealthy side of the weight loss. That's like, whoa, what's going on? Something's wrong. Or your food intake might stay the same, but we're not getting rid of it as fast. So therefore, we're holding on to a whole lot more. We're seeing weight gain. We're seeing bloat. We're seeing gas, things along those lines, inflammation. Um, and then nutrient absorption as well. So stress can alter the body's processing of food, like I was saying in the gut, of course. But the vagus nerve specifically is responsible for digestion, absorption, and metabolism. Okay, and this is affected when stress is going crazy. So disruption of these things, they can cause inflammation. It's going to impact your absorption and digestion rate. And then finally, kind of going into like how can we manage this stress? There's a lot of different ways, and everyone's going to go about it kind of a different way, right? But through exercise, I think I posted about whenever I went on a run the other day and stuff, like going for runs and stuff is like really like my decompressing zone. A lot of people use the gym as that, which that's definitely a place for me too. So exercise, maybe you're someone who likes to meditate, some quiet time, journaling, but also like mindful eating too can really help with this, especially if you're feeling stressed around food specifically. So mindful eating, putting your phone down, being really intentional about chewing your food, tasting your food. Actually, it sounds so nitty gritty and like picky about certain things, but I promise you, it will really make a difference in your stress levels, which in turn is going to help with weight loss or just overall health as well. Last but not least,
Not least at all.
nope.
One of the most important ones as well, I would say, and you're kind of seeing how all of these go hand in hand with each other. And so that's why we have them all here and listed the way that they do, because they really do all tie in together. Um, but the saying like you can't out train a bad diet. Well, it's true. And so just kind of touching on proper nutrition for a second. We all need certain vitamins, certain minerals, certain nutrients, and antioxidants to just survive. And when we're eating proper whole foods, and I'll break that down in a second, but they fall into these two categories that you see here. So macronutrients, so the overall bigger picture of what we need every single day, and then the smaller picture of what we need every single day. So macronutrients being carbs, proteins, and fats. Every single food on the planet falls into one of these categories. And a lot of the times, when you're craving those like higher calorie foods, the pizzas, the ice creams, the donuts, those things, those typically fall into like the carbohydrates and fats categories. And so that's why we emphasize, and those are the two categories that tend to get demonized a lot, whereas they're not bad for you. And too much of something can be bad, yes, and too much of the wrong quality of it can be bad. But when we're eating proper carbs and we're eating proper fats, I'm going to break that down in a second as well, then it can be really, really beneficial for us. And so making sure we have enough and the right amounts of all three and the right quality is going to put us on the right path. And then breaking down the micronutrients are just the smaller things like those vitamins and minerals that we need. And when I think of micronutrients, I love to think about fruits and veggies because there is an abundant amount of micronutrients in all fruits and veggies. And so, what better time than the summer to eat those micronutrients as well? So, those salads, and I don't know about you guys, but when it's summer, I like to eat like lighter foods, if that makes sense. Like, I don't want a meal that's like too heavy. So, I tend to kind of gear towards salads and just like small, like grain bowls and things like that. So, going back to what I had said earlier about carbs, proteins, and fats, let's talk about the right sources of carbs to get. So, you want to focus on whole grains. You can do brown rice, quinoa, oats, barley. I'm not opposed to like sweet potatoes or white rice as well. But those would be kind of like your whole grains, your whole food ingredients. There's also like couscous, whole grain breads, whole wheat breads, things like that, making sure you're getting in the proper carbohydrates. They are complex carbs, so that's going to fuel your body with that sustained energy instead of just breaking things down really, really fast and shooting your blood sugar up and then dropping your blood sugar down really fast like a donut would. Um, Proteins, we talk about this a lot in this group, but think of course, meat. So chicken, fish, turkey, steak, lamb, all of those things. But let's start thinking about the other sources of protein. Tofu, beans, lentils, edamame, cottage cheese, eggs. Cheese in general does have some protein in it as well, but it also has a fat. It's kind of more constituted as fat. And then moving on to fats, right? We have like avocados, nuts, seeds, olive oil, think about like pumpkin seeds. Salmon is also doubles as fat and protein as well. And of course, there's a whole laundry list of things that I'm missing, and we can kind of drop something in the Facebook group if you guys are interested in just learning about the breakdown of macronutrients in general. But making sure we're getting in all of these things to fully encompass what we're doing in the gym, outside of the gym, with our water, with our sleep, and then tying it together with the stress management and the nutrition is going to be really, really crucial for just keeping those results long lasting.
Awesome. All right, you guys. So that is one, two, three, four, five.
That's
What
right.
questions do you guys have about any of these before we kind of go into the last part of this call? Something makes it easier for me. Macro. Okay, I'm gonna read this out loud for everyone so that people on the Facebook page can see it too. Amanda said, this is Amanda, right? iPhone 6, I'm pretty sure. I think that's what we established. So she said, something that makes it easier for me to eat macro friendly is taking some of my favorite recipes and making substitutes for the less healthy ingredient. For example, instead of sour cream and do plain Greek yogurt, instead of beef meatballs, do turkey meatballs. Yes, 1000%. And that is something that we do in this household all the time.
Yeah.
I love that. And that's honestly the swap for sour cream to plain Greek yogurt is like one of my favorite things. We like never buy sour cream anymore. Not that like it's bad or demonized or anything like that. We've just always done that swap for so long that like I don't even think about buying sour cream anymore. I'm just like, yeah, we're gonna use Greek yogurt on that. So that's great. I love that. Awesome. Any questions, you guys? And Marisol is on Facebook as well. There's a couple people on Facebook. So any questions from the Facebook as well? We'd love to go over and make sure everything is covered for you guys before moving on to the next thing. All
Uh,
good? I think we're good. If y'all
Sweet.
think of something, definitely just pop it in there. We'll go back to it. Sweet. Okay. I'm excited for this, you guys. And you guys are getting a sneak peek. Just a heads up. You guys are special. people in the Facebook group, if you're in the group, if you're in the challenge and stuff, you're getting a early access to this. This won't officially be going live until Monday, besides for you guys specifically. So don't mind my corny little drum roll man here. Okay, now I have to get him to go for you guys. There we
Is
go.
that
I had to find a cute little video. All right, you guys. So Carolina Core Practitioners is officially turning 4 next month. Whoop, whoop. So we're going to run a scholarship and we're going to give away one full ride coaching 3-month long program to one of you guys who apply. And then we're also giving away $10,000 worth of partial scholarships as well. So one lucky winner is going to win a full ride, and then there will also be 10 winners for partial scholarships as well. So let's kind of talk about the details of this because I want you guys to understand exactly what this is. And if you're watching the replay and you're questioning anything about it and stuff, drop questions in the comments because this is huge and there's no harm in applying, like literally no harm in applying. So I kind of want to walk through the details real fast so you guys know what you're getting exactly. But first, I want you guys to hear from our last scholarship winner that we did last year. We literally haven't done this in a full year. So, Serena, will you give me a thumbs up if you can hear this when it plays? That would be fabulous. I know it's kind of last minute, but I actually don't have any other questions for you. I just wanted to get you on here to let you know that you have been chosen to be our full ride scholarship winner.
Are you serious?
Yes.
You have no idea how much that means to me because I tried to get programs, but they were all insanely expensive, so I couldn't do anything.
We got you, girl. We got you. I'm so excited to work with you. You have no idea.
I'm super grateful.
Yay! Well, that is awesome, you guys. So that was Ashley. We worked with her last year. And she's one of the reasons why we like continuing to do this. And I'm thankful we're able to do this for you guys. So what are you going to get? Let's talk a little bit about it. You're going to get our Never Hit a Plateau weight loss success coaching team and all of our one-on-one support with our Carolina Core Practitioners client success team. You're also going to get access to our Metabolism Secrets Vault, and then also exclusive CCP bonuses. So we're going to throw in some extra bonuses specifically for this scholarship. We've got lots of new trainings and just different things that you're going to be able to take your health to the next level with. Also, our next level accountability tracking systems. This is key right here, you guys. We can see your movement, we can see your steps, we can see your sleep, we can see when you're tracking your food, water intake, all the things. And it really helps us not only be able to lead you in the right direction, but also like there's accountability there, you guys. Like if we know that we can see your steps or we can see your calorie burn when you're going to do a workout, you're way more likely to get it done. You're also going to get done for you meal ideas, weekly live coaching calls with our team, exclusive CCP community access, and then you're also going to get monthly guest expert calls that are going to be popping in here soon over the summer. So with this though, you're probably like, okay, what's the catch? Where are we going now? So with the value of all of this, it's over $6,000 worth of value, you guys, okay? You have the opportunity to get access to all of this completely for free. All you got to do is apply. All you have to do is apply and wait and see what this, what the results of this is going to be. As I mentioned, one full ride will be given away and we'll do 10 partial scholarships where we will pay a huge, huge chunk of the overall value of this. So to apply, scan the QR code if you are watching on your laptop. If not, I'm about to drop the link in the chat box for you as well, because I know you can't scan it if you're on your phone. But like I said, you guys, apply, apply, apply. The deadline to enter is the 13th of this month, and we're going to be announcing the full ride scholarship winner on the 15th. That's a Monday night. We'll be announcing the winner then. And there's literally, I can't express how important it is to, when you're going in and doing these applications, truly be honest with us and tell us why you think you deserve the scholarship. The more detail and the more in depth you go as to why you need this, the more likely we are to pick you for the scholarship. Okay. So I'm gonna leave this up on the screen here for a minute. Pull your phones out, scan it, go in and apply. I'm going to start looking through the applications as soon as tonight because I got to start reading through them. We're going to look at them as a team and make a decision on who genuinely really deserves this scholarship for the program. Like I said, it's going live on Monday to the general public. You guys are getting early access. If you have friends that you also think would benefit from this, please share 100% share with them. Other than that, you guys, after you get the code and get the link and everything, you're good to go. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's call. And like I said, apply. There's no harm, no foul. So do it.
Oh,
Awesome, you guys. Well, y'all are good to go once you get this scanned, and I'll be looking out for you guys, y'all's applications.
yeah, you're welcome as well.
Bye, Isabel. Awesome. Sweet. You're all good. Can I unshare this?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think we're good now. Awesome, you guys. All right. Talk to y'all later. Bye.
Bye.